On today's hot sheet, I'm discussing Redfin's home price index, new housing starts, and home builder sentiment. Today is Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. I am Byron Lazine, and the hot sheet starts now. Welcome into the hot sheet. Let me know in the live chat which market you are tuning in live from. A lot has been going on, and I just want to make an announcement that tomorrow on this YouTube channel here in the live tab at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, myself, Lisa Chinati, and Tom Toole, your hosts of the Knowledge Brokers podcast, also on a separate YouTube channel, Apple and Spotify, wherever you listen to pods. The three of us are going to be hosting a live stream right here on the YouTube channel. I think we might have a link. Haley, you might have a link that you can drop into the comments to sign up so you get alerts for that. There's the link right there. Make sure you sign up, hit the notifications. 3:30 Eastern tomorrow. Myself, Tom Toole, Lisa Chinati, on what you need to know about the NAR settlement and how to move forward immediately. We're also about halfway through the program going to have Chris Gianos join us and talk about some of the training that we need now in this new world. All right, so that'll be 3:30 tomorrow. What you need to know about the NAR settlement. Myself, Lisa Chinati, Tom Toole, Knowledge Brokers panel on everything that you need to know. Hope some of you can join with us, or if not, watch the replay. All right, let's get into it here on this hot sheet. Redfin home price index prices rose 0.6% in February, marking a return to pre-pandemic norm. Okay, while mortgage rates remain elevated, especially this past week here, they're not as volatile as they were at the height of the pandemic, which has helped stabilize home price growth. Okay, home price growth finally back to where it was before. The 3-year roller coaster ride of prices soared. So what they mean by that, the 0.6% in a month of February, it's like a normal growth metric. Okay, 0.6% is normal. We know that when we look at home prices here on the Redfin home price index, they basically just, you can set your watch to it. This is 2012 to 24. They go up and to the right, right? That's what happens with home prices. They continue to go up, but 0.6% in a month is much more normal than, a 2% month over month or a 3% month over month. And some of these 20% year over year gains that we saw a few years ago are not of the norm. They're more abnormal. Okay. So 0.6% in February. Once again, home prices, though, did fall in 6 of the 50 most populous U.S. metros. Many of those areas were pandemic boom towns. Here are the 6 that did indeed fall right out of the hot sheet show notes. Show notes, of course, available for everyone inside of BAMX. Jump in there if you want to grab these. Tampa at 0.5% down, San Antonio 0.4% down, Charlotte 0.1%, Portland 0.1%, Fort Worth, Texas, and Houston also down 0.1%. Okay, so those are the 6 that fell. Expect that Tampa area maybe to pull back a little bit more, but there's some indications that right now, as rates are up over 7, that this could be the bottom forming in that respect, because once they go back down, say 6.5 or closer to 6 even, you'll see more buyers enter the market. 13 metros saw home prices drop in January, so only 6 in February. So an improvement from January to February when we look at the 50 most populous metros as measured by Redfin. All right, the biggest monthly home price increases were in these 5 regions: Nassau County in New York at plus 2%, Montgomery County in Pennsylvania, Warren, Michigan, almost 2%, Chicago, almost 2%, and then Indianapolis at 1.6%. So some pandemic-like booms in certain parts of the country, those 5 in particular, realizing major gains from January to February. Housing supply, as reported by Redfin, despite an increase in the new listings, which we've been seeing week over week here, in comparison to year over year, each and every single week this year, housing supply still remains constrained, obviously compared to the pre-pandemic levels, leading to swift sales, competitive bidding, which is being observed by Redfin. So there's the update on the HPI from Redfin. Year-over-year home prices stabilized, 6.7 increase in February. That's pretty close to pre-pandemic average of a 6.9% gain. Okay, so we're normalizing. The big thing that's lacking in the housing market is getting the sales number, existing home sales back up. And that's really just going to come with affordability. So either the stabilization of prices where people get comfortable with where they're at for a year or two, or obviously the 30-year fixed trending down can open that up. That's really, one of the few things here that is left in the housing market, and it's got to come with obviously leading from inventory. Okay, housing starts. We have an update on builder sentiment, and then do we have housing starts as well? We have builder sentiment, and we do have housing starts. So let's go to let me see here. Let's go to builder sentiment before we get into housing starts. I think that's where I want to go. All right, so builder sentiment, builder confidence for the first time has actually gone positive. Builder confidence has improved 3 points to 51, and the break-even point being 50 on the builder sentiment. Builder confidence in new single-family home construction rose 3 points in March, reaching its highest level since July 2023. Fourth consecutive monthly gain on builder confidence. Break-even point of 50, again, for the first time since July was broken. Strong demand fueled by this lack of existing inventory is obviously driving builders to be optimistic. Okay. We've got a NAHB chief economist, Robert Dietz, quote, with the Federal Reserve expected to announce future rate cuts in the second half of 24. By the way, Federal Reserve FOMC meeting happening today and tomorrow, I believe. Yes, I think that's true. Today and tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, we get a Jerome Powell press conference. Obviously, more important, we get the Knowledge Brokers panel at 3:30 Eastern. So you make sure you don't miss that, because on Thursday morning, I'll cover everything that the FOMC meeting covers as it relates to housing. We'll pick out all of those timestamps, break that down for you in the show notes. So with Federal Reserve expect to announce future rate cuts in the second half of 24, don't expect them to say that tomorrow. Expect more of the testimony stance from the other week. Lower financing costs will drive many prospective buyers into the market. So that's what I'm talking about a little bit earlier. Okay, as those rates do come down later in the year, probably closer to election, as those rates do come down, you will see some of these buyers sitting on the sideline come into the market, creating more flow. A lot of potential sellers will become buy. Okay, let me list my house now, and now I'm becoming a buyer. Okay, so that creates some fluidity to the market. However, as home buying activity picks up, builders will grapple with rising material prices, particularly for lumber. So lumber is up. NAHB Chairman Carl Harris, who's also a custom home builder from Wichita, Kansas. Buyer demand remains brisk. We expect more consumers to jump off the sidelines and in the marketplace if mortgage rates continue to fall later this year. So same as the chief economist, Robert Dietz, on the outlook into the future. So builders are looking a little bit further down the pike and saying, okay, we're now over the break-even point of 51 for the first time since July, but we're also looking down the line here, and we see good trends coming later this year if those rates go down. They are rate dependent, as many are for that rely on transactions in this market, but they can have some more flexibility. Jody from AKC, I believe. I had a meeting with home builder yesterday. There are 7 home builders in new neighborhood, busy building, and homes are selling within 48 hours. Price point mid 400, selling within 48 hours. Great price point, right? Mid 400s there. And so the activity is strong where Jody is. So there you go on the home builder sentiment. Let's take a look at new starts here for home builders and see where those are coming in at right now. Housing starts in February. Building permits for privately owned housing units reached seasonally adjusted annual rate of 1.518. That's a 1.9 increase from January, 2.4% increase from February 2023. So housing starts, building permits on the up right now. Single family authorizations were at a rate of 1 million, just over 1 million, 1,031,000, up 1% from January. So single family authorizations, building permits, both on the up right now. Privately owned housing completions in February were a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 1.7 plus million, soaring 19.7% from a revised January estimate, showing 9% increase from year over year. Okay, so completions now, more product coming online from the builders. Single family housing completions at a rate of 1,072,000, up from 20.2% from January. Wow. Privately owned housing starts in February at a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 1.52, marking a significant increase of 10.7 from the revised January and 5.9 increase February. Okay, good signs here for builders. Obviously, they're seeing the opportunity in the market to provide the inventory, and it's going to continue to benefit builders here. Sorry about that. Here are the housing permit starts and completions. The next release will obviously come in April. Okay. Here's your chart. Everything on the up here in the last month as it relates to permit starts and completions for home builders. Now, if I'm an agent in everything that's going on with the proposed settlement, which I'll be speaking more about today on the channel at 2:00 in the Real Word podcast from a NAR perspective, what they got right and what they got wrong. Tomorrow's is what agents need to do to move forward, okay, in their business. So tomorrow's panel, knowledge brokers, what actions do agents need to take? The Real Word pod today will be kind of about picking apart the deal that NAR negotiated on the behalf of its members. Some of NAR members are protected, some aren't. But going back to builders and how agents should be thinking about, okay, maybe there's inventory like in Jody's market coming on as from the builders, okay, and thinking about how do I add value to buyers to really showcase my value in a buyer agency representation world. Not that you might not have been operating in that before. I'm just, we know that come mid-July, everybody's operating in that world. So how do you showcase extreme value to buyers who might be just deciding to go directly to the home builder? Okay. Well, you really do your research and get a lot of experience and talk to current buyers from those home builders. I might go around a completed neighborhood and say, hi, I'm a local real estate agent trying to put together data for my future clients and my current clients who are thinking about buying from X, Y, and Z national home builders. Do you have a couple of minutes where I can ask you some questions? It's an anonymous survey so that I can have some data points of people here in the local market who have had an experience working with this builder. Talk to 100 people, talk to 200 people that have had an experience and find the commonalities. Okay, what went right for these folks? What was an outstanding customer service expectation met? What was an outstanding production job or finishes job met? And where did the builders let these folks down? Putting that case study together, sending it out into your market would be a really smart idea from a marketing perspective, but it would also bring extreme value to the buyers that you're working with. If they have somebody who has that level of experience, also the data points of people who have worked with these builders, instead of having to ask one random neighbor and putting all their eggs in that basket. Hey, I've identified 250 people here in our county who have built, bought, closed with this builder. Okay, 80% say they had this, 40% said this, right? Why is that important? Because a lot of people, after they go through one of these national home builders, myself included, have a lot of feedback, have a lot of disappointment, fill out those surveys like they're doing a college report. Okay. I remember I bought this house from Pulte and I filled out the survey in great detail. Never heard back because their customer service is quite pathetic. So you may want to do some of your own research. You may want to do that on behalf of builders so that you have the data points to share with them. There's going to be some buyers that are like, wow, I really want to check all my boxes going into this so I don't get one pulled over on me by the national home builder. Okay. When they deal with the sales professionals inside of those offices, sometimes they can have an unwelcoming experience, especially once they sign on the dotted line. So just a little side note here, as you think about all these builders coming in with permit starts, completions, this is a healthy amount of inventory. Thankful for the builders bringing inventory. Wish there was an opportunity for them to bring more affordable inventory into the market. But there's certainly an opportunity for you to still be the buyer agent of choice as it relates to new construction in your market. Now, do you have to do a whole bunch of work, research data points, present it, package it? Yeah, of course you do. Or there wouldn't be much value there for someone to have you representing them. But if you have those data points, there'd be extreme value, obviously. Okay. We're going to talk more about things that you should be doing after the NAR settlement tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern. It's what agents need to do regarding the NAR's settlement with myself, Tom Toole, Lisa Chinati. We're going to bring Chris Gianos in as a special guest as well for a part of that. So there you go. Beth says if a builder is $25 a square foot than all the other builders, that should be a red flag. Yeah, maybe that could be very true. There's a lot of red flags that I think professionals like Beth and others here could identify, right? A list of red flags that that you could list out in your market to what to watch out for some of these builders and share those with your clients. All right, let me share with you the 10-year treasury yield here for today. Still not in a favorable position. Of course, we are awaiting Jerome Powell's commentary tomorrow afternoon. We'll see where that takes us and see how the market reacts, obviously, to that. But we're still sitting here up over 4.3. Currently on the 30-year fix, we can see an upward trend taking shape. We're back up to 7.11 on Mortgage News Daily's 30-year fixed daily survey. 3 reads in a row now, up over 7% on the 30-year fix. This can change quickly depending on the tone of Jerome Powell's conference tomorrow afternoon, which we will cover in full detail here on the Hot Sheet Thursday morning. Of course, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a Hot Sheet. We're live every Monday through Thursday, 9:30 on the East, 6:30 on the West, and we'll be back here tomorrow. I'll be on the channel here later today at 2 o'clock with that Real Word podcast that I mentioned. And of course, I'll give you a reminder tomorrow about the 3:30 panel. A lot going on here in the BAM world. Glad to have you along for the ride with us. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Toodaloo.